Hi, my name is Meg, and welcome to Generational Curse Breaker. If you are watching this, odds are you are the generational curse breaker and you've already been doing that, or you are just beginning to realize that that's who you are and your lot in life. Before we dive in, I'm just gonna preface this with a couple of disclaimers. I practice, and I have been practicing for a very long time. I just turned 42 on the 16th, so it's been like a lifelong blah blah blah. Anyway, so with that being said, the things that I will be talking about or using as like a tool to help you, it's all going to be like aligned with witchcraft. Does that mean that you have to do it? No. Does that mean that you still can't be a generational curse breaker? No. The number one thing about curse breakers is where there's a will, there's a way, and we will always find a way. We will find what works for us. We usually try multiple avenues of trial and error, or go down multiple avenues of trial and error until we find what works for us. Can you replicate some of these? Absolutely. So the best teacher is through experience, right? And so with me doing this for as long as I have been, I do actually have a lot of experience. So I will share with you all of the different tools, tips, tricks, things that I did to get to where I am today, and a lot of the lessons that I've learned. And hopefully you'll find what is meant for you and be able to apply that to your life, to your journey, to help you figure out what your lot in life, your journey actually is. Like, what is your end game? Where are you supposed to be? Where are you wanting to be? And I will say that where you're supposed to be and where you want to be are probably two completely different things. This right now is an example of that. What I want versus what I'm supposed to be doing are two completely different things. While yes, I am a curse breaker and I do navigate away from things that have generationally been happening within my lineage in this lifetime, I still have the mental fortitude to like try to mainstream myself, even though that's apparently not what I'm supposed to be doing. What does that mean? That means that let's stop right there for just a second. So why I'm even doing this, right? This isn't my first time being called to do this. I have known for quite some time that I'm supposed to be doing this. But what really tipped me over the edge and made me realize that, like, okay, I need to lean into it instead of trying to like navigate around it and avoid it. It's kind of like trying to walk around the elephant in the room while you're trying to deep clean the house. Like, you're just not going to be able to do that for very long, right? Eventually you're gonna have to face the elephant and like deal with it in order to clean the area that it's in. So I want to say it was like 2 or 3 nights ago, I saw that Chiron is moving into Taurus. Now, while I conceptually know that Chiron is the wounded healer, and I know that where Chiron's placement is in your birth chart, that's the area that is like what you're supposed to be working on. I've never actually deep dived into that. So sorry, dude. Like, I bite my lip whenever I'm like really anxious. And a few nights ago, I was doing that and I bit like a super tender part of my lip and it hurts. Anyway, it's like rubbing up against my teeth while I talk and ugh. So I started deep diving into where Chiron is in my birth chart and what those wounds look like, what they are, and talk about like being smacked in the face with like some actual like truths about yourself. So Chiron is in my second house in Gemini. And there's like a stellium in that house, right? I can't think of all the planets that are in there, but it's like Sun, Venus, Chiron, Mercury. I think that's it. But anyway, my wounds are around self-worth, communication. Somewhere I read it's like spiritual communication, right? And not feeling self-worth, meaning like not feeling like I'm enough or that I have like any value, or that the words or stories or anything like that, any of the learned experiences I have are of any value to anyone else outside of myself. And that is all super true. And if you are here and you are a generational curse breaker, odds are you have a super traumatic, or maybe not super traumatic, but a very traumatic childhood. And the childhood traumas are, well, in my case, they are highlighted through Chiron. Meaning I was never good enough. Nothing I did was ever good enough. I'm also the eldest daughter, so to like a lot of kids. And I had to start realizing a couple years ago that I've been raising kids since I was a kid. And I never actually had a childhood. My childhood was spent being responsible for an adult's choices, meaning raising somebody else's kids, my brothers and sisters, to the point that like I can't even look at my brothers and sisters as brothers and sisters. I can only see them as children. So I don't even know how to interact with them as a brother sister relationship or as a sister relationship. My brain is only wired to look at them as if I am their parent. If you have that same experience, then you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is the introduction, and hi, welcome, and I hope that we can break some curses together as we journey forward together. And I'm going to finish my coffee, work on some ideas for videos I channel. So I've had ideas already flowing since I got up. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start working on that. So see you in the next one. Thanks for being here, and yeah, thanks for being here.